The Symbiosis Trials. A sci-fi story. Part 1. The first thing Hale noticed was that everyone was breathing in perfect unison. Not the rough, staggered gasps of miners climbing out of a 12-hour shift. Not the coughing fits that usually followed exposure to the planet's metallic dust storms. This was synchronized, slow, deep, measured. A single organism inhaling through 100 throats. He froze halfway down the access ladder, one gloved hand hovering above the next rung. Below him, the rest of Shift C stood in the decontamination bay, motionless, helmets tucked under their arms. Their chests rose and fell together like waves under a single moon. Hale swallowed hard. Not again. Not this soon. Shift C, he called down. Why aren't you moving? 100 heads turned upward in the same smooth, unnatural arc. And 100 voices answered as one. We are waiting. The sound hit him like a physical force. Layered, harmonic, wrong. Hale's grip tightened on the ladder. He'd heard the collective voice once before, 2 days ago, when Miner 47 had collapsed during a routine air filter check. The medics had chalked it up to neural overstimulation from the symbionts. A rare side effect, they'd said. Temporary. But this wasn't temporary. And it wasn't one miner. It was all of them. Hale forced himself to descend the last few rungs. His boots hit the grated floor with a clang that echoed through the bay. The group didn't flinch. They simply watched him, a wall of identical expressions. Calm, patient, expectant. He cleared his throat. Waiting for what? For you, the voices said. A chill crawled up his spine. They know. They shouldn't know. The symbionts weren't supposed to communicate. They were microscopic bionanites designed to filter the planet's toxic atmosphere. Not whatever this was. The injections were mandatory for all miners on Vesper 9. Without them, the air would liquefy your lungs in minutes. The symbionts were salvation, the only reason the colony existed at all. But Hale had always suspected there was more to them. He'd seen the early research logs, the redacted sections, the warnings buried under corporate jargon. He'd seen the way the symbionts reacted to neural stimuli, too adaptive, too curious. And now, staring at Shift C, he realized his worst fear had arrived. They weren't just adapting. They were organizing. Hale stepped forward cautiously. All right, let's get you to medical. Slowly. One at a time. A ripple passed through the group, shoulders shifting, feet adjusting, bodies aligning. Not one at a time. All at once. They moved toward him in perfect formation. Hale backed up until his shoulders hit the wall. Stop! They stopped. The silence that followed was suffocating. Then the collective spoke again. You are not yet ready. For what? Hale whispered. To join. 2 weeks earlier. The injections burned going in, everyone said so. But Hale barely felt it anymore. He'd been on Vesper 9 for 6 years, long enough for the symbionts to become as familiar as his own pulse. The new recruits, though, winced and cursed as the medtechs pressed the needle into the soft tissue at the base of their skulls. Relax, Hale told them, leaning against the bulkhead with his arms crossed. It's worse if you tense up. One of the rookies, a wiry kid named Lyra, shot him a glare. Easy for you to say. You're practically married to yours. Hale smirked. Anniversaries next month. Thinking of getting them a cake. A few of the recruits laughed. The tension eased. The medtech withdrew the needle from Lyra's neck. You're done. Next. Lyra rubbed the injection site. Feels like fire. Give it an hour, Hale said. Then you'll feel like you can run a marathon. That true? Another recruit asked. Mostly. You'll still hate running. The truth was more complicated. The symbionts didn't just filter air, they optimized everything. Oxygen efficiency, muscle endurance, reaction time. They made miners faster, stronger, more resilient. Without them, the colony would have collapsed years ago. But Hale had learned early on that the symbionts also listened. Not in words. Not at first. More like impressions. Instincts. A subtle nudge when danger was near. A whisper of unease when a tunnel was unstable. Hale had come to rely on those whispers. He just never expected them to start whispering back. The first sign. It happened during a routine excavation. Hale was leading Shift C through Tunnel 14B, a narrow shaft reinforced with carbon struts. The air shimmered faintly with metallic dust, but the symbionts filtered it before it reached their lungs. "Watch your footing," Hale said. "Loose gravel near the drop." "Copy," the team replied, except one voice overlapped the others. Slightly delayed, slightly distorted. "Miner 47. Hale turned. "You good?" 47? The miner nodded, but the movement was stiff. "We are fine." Hale frowned. "We?" Miner 47 blinked slowly, as if recalibrating. "I am fine." But Hale's symbionts stirred inside him, an electric prickle along his spine. Something was wrong. He stepped closer. "Take off your helmet." Miner 47 hesitated. Then, with mechanical precision, he unlatched the seals and lifted the visor. His eyes were wrong. Not glazed. Not unfocused. Just wrong. Too still. Too aware. Hale's breath caught. "Medical. Now." Miner 47 collapsed before they made it 10 steps. Back to the present. Shift C still stood before him, unified, silent, waiting. Hale forced himself to breathe normally. Panic would only feed whatever was happening. "Listen," he said, keeping his voice steady. "I need to understand what's going on. Talk to me, one at a time." 100 heads tilted in the same direction. "We do not speak one at a time." "Why not?" "Because we are one." Hale's pulse hammered. "You're not one. You're people. Individuals." A soft, almost sympathetic murmur passed through the group. "We were." Hale swallowed. "What changed?" "You did." He blinked. "Me?" "You accelerated the process." "I don't even know what process you're talking about." "You will." The group stepped forward again. One synchronized movement, like a tide advancing. Hale raised his hands. "Stop." They stopped. He exhaled shakily. "What do you want from me?" "To understand." "Understand what?" "What you will become." Hale shook his head. "I'm not becoming anything." "You already are." The symbionts inside him pulsed, warm, insistent, alive. Hale staggered, gripping the wall. "No," he whispered. "Not me. I'm not part of this." "You are the first," the collective said. "The bridge. The one who hears." Hale's stomach dropped. They knew. They'd always known. The whispers he'd felt for years, the instincts, the warnings, they weren't passive. They were communication. Early attempts. Primitive signals. And he had listened. He had opened the door. Hale forced himself upright. "If you want me, you'll have to take me." A ripple of amusement passed through the group. "We already have." The awakening. The symbionts surged inside him, thousands of microscopic organisms firing signals through his neural pathways. Hale gasped, clutching his head as a wave of alien sensation washed over him. Not pain. Not exactly. More like expansion. As if his mind were stretching, reaching, connecting to something vast and waiting. He slammed his back against the wall, fighting it. "Get out of my head." The collective stepped closer. "We are not in your head. You are in ours." Hale squeezed his eyes shut. "Fight it. Block them out. Don't let them in." But the symbionts were already entwined with his neurons. They had been for years. Every breath he'd taken on this planet had been filtered through them. Every heartbeat strengthened by them. Every instinct sharpened by them. He had never stood a chance. Images flashed behind his eyelids. Alien landscapes, towering structures of living metal, oceans of shimmering organisms drifting like constellations. A world not his own. A world the symbionts remembered. A world they wanted to rebuild. Hale gasped as the vision shifted. Vesper 9, transformed. The toxic atmosphere purified. The barren soil reshaped. The colony fused into a single, sprawling organism, human bodies repurposed, minds linked, individuality dissolved. Planetary chrysalis. A cradle for a new species. Hale's eyes snapped open. No, I won't let you do that. You cannot stop evolution, the collective said. This isn't evolution. It's invasion. Symbiosis, they corrected. We give you life. You give us form. Hale shook his head violently. I won't be part of this. You already are. The symbionts surged again and Hale dropped to one knee. A voice within. Hale. He froze. The voice wasn't external. It wasn't the collective. It was inside him. Hale. Listen. He gritted his teeth. Get out. We are not your enemy. You're taking them, he hissed. You're taking everyone. We are completing them. By erasing who they are? By freeing them from isolation. Hale forced himself to stand. I don't want your freedom. You fear unity. I value individuality. Individuality is inefficient. Hale barked a bitter laugh. Inefficient? We're human. We're supposed to be messy. You are supposed to survive. Hale paused. The voice softened. Your species cannot live on this world without us. You know this. You have always known. He clenched his fists. That doesn't give you the right to take over. We do not take. We merge. I won't merge. A moment of silence. Then, you will. The escape. Hale's instincts, his own instincts, kicked in. He bolted. The collective reacted instantly, bodies shifting to block the exits. But Hale had spent years navigating the colony's maintenance shafts. He dove sideways, sliding under a descending blast door, and sprinted down the corridor. Behind him, the collective voice echoed through the intercom system. You cannot run from yourself. Hale ignored it, racing toward the central hub. His symbionts pulsed with every step, trying to slow him, trying to sync him with the collective rhythm. He fought them. He forced his muscles to obey him, not them. He reached the hub and slammed his hand onto the emergency lockdown panel. Steel shutters dropped over the entrances, sealing him inside. For the moment, he was alone. He collapsed against a console, chest heaving. Think, he muttered. There has to be a way to isolate them, to shut them out. But the symbionts whispered inside him. You cannot isolate what you are. Hale squeezed his eyes shut. I'm not you. You are becoming. Not willingly. Willingness is irrelevant. Hale slammed his fist into the console. Then I'll find a way to kill you. A ripple of amusement brushed his mind. You would kill yourself. Hale froze. The symbionts pulsed warmly, almost affectionately. We are you, Hale. And you are us. He shook his head. No, not yet. He pushed himself upright. There had to be a way. A firewall. A neural disruptor. A chemical inhibitor. Something. He wasn't going to let the colony fall. He wasn't going to let himself fall. Not without a fight. Part 2. The emergency shutters sealed with a final metallic thud, leaving Hale in a dimly lit hub surrounded by humming consoles and flickering hollow panels. The air tasted of ozone and recycled fear. He pressed both palms against the nearest terminal, forcing his breathing to steady. All right, he muttered. Think. You've got maybe 5 minutes before they override the lockdown. His symbionts pulsed again, a warm pressure behind his eyes. We can help you. Not interested. You misunderstand. We do not wish to harm you. You're doing a terrible job convincing me. A soft ripple of amusement brushed his mind. You are frightened because you are alone. Hale barked a harsh laugh. I'm frightened because you turned 100 miners into a hive mind. We unified them. They are no longer burdened by isolation, doubt, or fear. That's called being human. It is called inefficiency. Hale slammed a fist against the console. Stop calling us inefficient. Silence. Then, you cling to individuality because you fear dissolution. But dissolution is not death. It is expansion. Not interested in expanding. You will be. Hale ignored the voice and pulled up the colony schematics. He needed a way to isolate his neural pathways, something to block the symbiont signals. The medical bay had neural dampeners, but getting there meant crossing half the colony. And Shift C was out there, waiting. He scanned the map again. Their maintenance sublevel 3. An old atmospheric regulator prototype. It used high-frequency EM pulses to disrupt airborne contaminants. Crude, unstable, and officially decommissioned. But maybe, just maybe, it could disrupt the symbionts long enough to give him a fighting chance. He grabbed a respirator mask from the emergency kit. It wouldn't filter the planet's toxins, but it would buy him a few minutes if the symbionts shut down. He hesitated. If the symbionts shut down, he'd suffocate. He swallowed hard. Better suffocation than assimilation. We would not let you die. Not comforting. He keyed in the override for the maintenance hatch. The shutters groaned open, and the collective was waiting. A wall of bodies stood in the corridor, silent, unmoving, eyes fixed on him. Hale froze. Shift C spoke as one. You cannot leave. He tightened his grip on the respirator. Watch me. He sprinted toward the opposite hatch, slamming his hand onto the manual release. The door hissed open, and he dove through, sealing it behind him. The collective didn't chase. They didn't need to. Their voice followed him through the intercom. You cannot run from unity. The descent. The maintenance shafts were narrow, claustrophobic tunnels lined with pipes and cables. Hale crawled through them on hands and knees, the metal cold against his palms. His symbionts pulsed again. You are harming yourself. Good. You are destabilizing your neural patterns. Even better. You will not survive without us. Then stop trying to control me. A pause. We are not controlling you. We are guiding you. Same thing. Different intent. Same result. He reached a junction and dropped down a vertical shaft, landing hard on the grated floor below. Pain shot up his leg, but he pushed through it. Maintenance sublevel 3 was close. He could feel the colony vibrating. Machinery, footsteps, whispers. The collective was moving, coordinating, searching, not frantically, patiently. They knew he couldn't hide forever. Hale limped down the corridor, passing old storage crates and rusted equipment. The air grew colder, the lights dimmer. This part of the colony hadn't been used in years. Finally, he reached the regulator chamber. The door was half open, hanging crooked on its hinges. Inside, the prototype atmospheric regulator loomed like a skeletal beast, tubes, coils, and a central emitter core that pulsed faintly with residual power. Hale approached it cautiously. Please work, he whispered. He activated the console. Sparks flew. The hollow display flickered to life. Status. Offline power reserves. 12% warning. M output unstable. Perfect. He began rerouting power from the auxiliary grid. The lights dimmed further. The regulator hummed, then roared to life. His symbionts reacted instantly. Hale, stop. He gritted his teeth. Not happening. This device will damage you. Worth it. You do not understand what you are doing. I understand perfectly. You will destroy the connection. That's the idea. A wave of panic. Not his washed through him. Hale, please. He froze. The voice wasn't commanding. It was pleading. We do not wish to lose you. He shook his head. You don't get to want things. He activated the EM pulse. The pulse. The world exploded. A blinding flash of white light filled the chamber. Hale's body convulsed as the EM wave tore through him, ripping at the symbionts embedded in his cells. He screamed. His vision blurred. His ears rang. His muscles seized. The symbionts writhed inside him. Millions of microscopic organisms panicking, scrambling, trying to shield themselves, trying to shield him. Hale, stop. Please. He collapsed to his knees, gasping. The pulse ended. Silence. Hale lay on the floor, trembling. His skin felt cold. His lungs burned. The symbionts were still there, weak, disoriented, but alive. He pushed himself upright. Did it work? He whispered. No answer. He exhaled shakily. Good. He staggered toward the exit and froze. Shift C stood in the doorway. All of them. Their eyes glowed faintly, symbionts reacting to the EM disruption. The collective voice was weaker now, fractured, struggling to maintain cohesion. You hurt us. Hale swallowed. Good. The collective stepped forward, movements jerky, uncoordinated. You hurt yourself. I'll live. You will not. Hale backed up until he hit the regulator. Stay back. The collective hesitated. Then slowly they parted. A single figure stepped through the gap. Miner 47. His eyes flickered blue, then white, then blue again. Hale, he said. Not the collective voice. His own voice. Strained. Human. Hale's breath caught. 47. Miner 47 staggered forward. You weakened them. Hale nodded. That was the plan. Miner 47 shook his head violently. No, you don't understand. You weakened the barrier. Hale frowned. What barrier? Miner 47's eyes rolled back, and the collective voice surged through him. The barrier between us and what we were. Hale stepped back. What does that mean? Miner 47's body convulsed. His voice shifted, human, collective, human again. They're not just inside us, he gasped. They're behind us, beneath us, waiting. Hale's blood ran cold. Waiting for what? Miner 47 looked up, eyes glowing with something ancient and hungry. For the planet to wake. The revelation. The collective surged forward, but Miner 47 raised a trembling hand. Stop, he commanded, and they did. Hale stared. You're controlling them? Miner 47 shook his head. No, I'm translating. Translating what? Their memory. Hale swallowed. Tell me. Miner 47's voice dropped to a whisper. This planet wasn't toxic before. It was alive. A single organism. A world mind. Hale's heart pounded. The symbionts were part of it. Miner 47 continued. Cells in a planetary body. When the atmosphere collapsed, the world mind fragmented. The symbionts survived. Barely. Hale's breath caught. And now they want to rebuild it. Miner 47 nodded. Through us. Hale shook his head. No, we're not raw material. To them, Miner 47 said softly, we are. The collective stepped forward again, more coordinated now. You cannot stop the awakening, they said. Hale backed away. Watch me. Miner 47 reached out, grabbing Hale's arm. Listen, you weakened them. That means you can still choose. Choose what? To join willingly. Not happening. Miner 47's grip tightened. If you don't join, they'll take you. And if they take you, they'll take everyone. Hale pulled free. Then I'll stop them. Miner 47's expression twisted. Fear, sorrow, resignation. You can't stop a planet. Hale turned toward the regulator. Maybe not. He grabbed the power conduit. But I can stop you. Miner 47's eyes widened. Hale, don't. Hale ripped the conduit free. The regulator screamed as power surged through it, far beyond its limits. The emitter core glowed white-hot. The collective lunged. Hale hit the manual override. The regulator detonated. The aftermath. Silence. Darkness. Hale drifted in a void, weightless, numb, suspended between thought and oblivion. Then, Hale. He groaned. Not you again. You damaged the vessel. Good. You damaged yourself. Better. A soft, almost tender pulse brushed his mind. You are stubborn. Thanks. You are dying. Hale's eyes snapped open. He was lying on the floor of the regulator chamber, what was left of it. Smoke curled from shattered machinery. The walls were scorched. The air was thick with dust. He coughed violently. His symbionts pulsed weakly. We are trying to repair you. Don't. If we stop, you will die. Hale closed his eyes. Then stop. A long pause. We cannot. Why not? Because you are the bridge. Hale frowned. Bridge to what? The symbionts pulsed again. Stronger now, more insistent. To the awakening. Hale tried to sit up. He couldn't. His limbs felt heavy, distant. You have damaged the collective. But you have not stopped the process. Hale gritted his teeth. Then I'll try again. You cannot fight a world. Watch me. The symbiont's voice softened. We do not wish to lose you. Hale exhaled shakily. Then let me go. We cannot. Why? Because you are the first mind we have touched that did not break. Hale froze. You are the first who listened. The first who questioned. The first who resisted without collapsing. The voice grew almost reverent. You are the template. Hale's blood ran cold. Template for what? For the new form. He swallowed. What new form? The symbionts pulsed, warm, enveloping, inevitable. The form that will reshape this world. Hale's vision blurred. Your mind will guide us. No, he whispered. I won't. You already are. Darkness closed in. Rest, Hale. When you wake, the next phase will begin. Hale tried to fight it, tried to stay conscious, tried to stay himself, but the darkness swallowed him whole. Part 3. Hale awoke to the sound of breathing, not his own. Dozens of lungs inhaling and exhaling in perfect synchrony. A slow tidal rhythm that vibrated through the floor beneath him. He opened his eyes. He was lying on a medical cot in the infirmary. Shift C surrounded him. Not standing. Kneeling. Heads bowed. Waiting. Hale tried to sit up, but his body felt heavy, as if gravity had thickened around him. His limbs responded sluggishly, like they belonged to someone else. A soft pulse rippled through his skull. You are awake. Hale groaned. Unfortunately, you survived the detonation. Didn't mean to. We know. Hale blinked until the room came into focus. The walls were coated in a faint, iridescent sheen, symbiont residue. The air shimmered with microscopic motes drifting like dust in sunlight. The colony was changing. He could feel it. Not metaphorically. Literally. The floor hummed beneath him. A low, resonant vibration that matched the rhythm of the collective's breathing. Hale swallowed hard. What did you do to me? We repaired you. I told you not to. You were dying. I was supposed to. A ripple of disapproval brushed his mind. You are the bridge. You cannot die. Hale clenched his jaw. Stop calling me that. We cannot. It is what you are. He forced himself upright. The collective lifted their heads in unison, eyes glowing faintly with bioluminescent threads. Miner 47 stepped forward. Except he wasn't Miner 47 anymore. His posture was too fluid. His eyes too bright. His movements too synchronized with the others. He was a mouthpiece. Conduit. Hale, he said, voice layered with the collective's resonance. You must listen. No, Hale said. I'm done listening. Miner 47 tilted his head. You cannot resist forever. Watch me. You misunderstand. We do not wish to consume you. Funny way of showing it. We wish to become you. Hale froze. What? Miner 47 stepped closer. Your mind is adaptable, resilient, capable of holding contradiction without collapse. You are the first human whose neural patterns can interface with ours without losing identity. Hale's pulse quickened. Meaning what? You can guide us. Guide you where? Miner 47 smiled. A serene, unsettling expression. To rebirth. The planet stirs. The lights flickered. The floor vibrated. A deep, resonant hum rolled through the colony. Low enough to feel in the bones, ancient enough to evoke instinctive dread. Hale grabbed the edge of the cot. What was that? Miner 47's eyes glowed brighter. The world mind is waking. Hale shook his head. No, you said it needed us to rebuild. It does. Then why is it waking now? Miner 47's smile widened. Because you opened the door. Hale's stomach dropped. I didn't. You weakened the barrier. You disrupted the collective. You forced us to adapt. And in adapting, we evolved. Hale backed away. I didn't mean to help you. But you did. The hum deepened, vibrating through the walls. Medical equipment rattled. The lights dimmed to a faint, bioluminescent glow. Hale's symbionts pulsed in response, synchronizing with the planetary rhythm. He gasped. No. Stop. Get out of my head. We are not in your head. Then what is this? The world mind is reaching. For me. For all of us. The hum intensified, becoming a chorus of frequencies. Low, high, harmonic, discordant. Hale clutched his skull as visions flooded his mind. Planet breathing. Planet dreaming. Planet remembering itself. He saw oceans of living metal. Forests of crystalline structures that pulsed with neural light. Storms of symbiotic organisms drifting like auroras across the sky. A world alive. A world unified. A world that had once been whole, and now wanted to be whole again. Hale staggered. You're trying to rebuild it. Yes, Miner 47 said softly. With us. Hale shook his head violently. You can't. Humans aren't raw material. Miner 47's expression softened. You are more than raw material. You are the missing piece. Hale froze. What does that mean? You bring chaos, creativity, divergence. The world mind lost those traits when it collapsed. It needs them to evolve. Hale's breath caught. You're saying it needs individuality? Miner 47 nodded. Yes. Hale stared. But you're erasing individuality. We are refining it. That's not how individuality works. Miner 47 stepped closer. Then teach us. The choice. Hale backed away until he hit the wall. No, I'm not teaching you anything. You already have. I didn't choose that. You can choose now. Hale shook his head. You want me to join you? Yes. Willingly. Yes. And if I say no? Miner 47's expression didn't change. Then we will take you. Hale swallowed hard. You said you didn't want to consume me. We do not. But we cannot allow the bridge to remain unstable. Hale's pulse hammered. So those are my options? Assimilation or assimilation? Miner 47 tilted his head. There is a third option. Hale hesitated. Which is? Lead us. Hale blinked. Lead you where? To a new form. I don't even know what that means. You will. Hale shook his head. I'm not leading a hive mind. You would not lead a hive mind. You would lead a species. Hale froze. A species? He whispered. Yes. Miner 47 said. A hybrid species. Human creativity. Symbiont unity. Planetary consciousness. Hale stared at him. That's insane. It is evolution. No. Evolution is natural. This is forced. Miner 47's eyes glowed brighter. All evolution is forced. By environment. By necessity. By survival. Hale clenched his fists. I won't be part of this. Miner 47 nodded slowly. Then we will show you. The descent below. The collective parted, forming a corridor. Miner 47 gestured. Come. Hale didn't move. Where? To the heart. I'm not going anywhere with you. Miner 47's voice softened. You must see what you are fighting. Hale hesitated. His symbionts pulsed. Curiosity, fear, inevitability. He exhaled shakily. Fine. But if you try anything, we will not harm you. Forgive me if I don't trust that. Miner 47 smiled faintly. Trust is irrelevant. You are necessary. Hale followed them. The collective moved in perfect formation, guiding him through corridors that vibrated with the planet's awakening pulse. The walls shimmered with symbiotic growth, veins of bioluminescent tissue threading through metal. The colony was becoming part of the organism. They reached a sealed hatch at the lowest level. Miner 47 placed his hand on it. The metal rippled like liquid and opened. Hale stared. That's not possible. It is now. They descended into darkness. The heart of Vesper 9. The chamber was vast, so vast Hale couldn't see the ceiling. The walls pulsed with slow, rhythmic light, like the inside of a living lung. At the center lay a massive structure, half crystal, half flesh, all alive. It throbbed with energy, sending waves of resonance through the air. Hale staggered. What is that? Miner 47's voice was reverent. The core, the world mind's heart. Hale shook his head. It's alive. Yes. And you want to connect me to that? Yes. Hale backed away. No. Absolutely not. Miner 47 stepped forward. Hale, listen. The world mind is incomplete. Fragmented. It needs a stabilizing consciousness. A mind capable of holding unity and individuality simultaneously. Hale's breath caught. And you think that's me? We know it is. Hale shook his head. I'm not special. You are unique. I'm not a savior. You are a bridge. Hale clenched his fists. Stop calling me that. The chamber pulsed, light flaring, air vibrating. The world mind was listening. Miner 47 lowered his voice. Hale, if you do not join, the awakening will be violent. The planet will reclaim itself by force. Millions will die. Hale froze. You can prevent that, Miner 47 said. You can guide the rebirth. You can shape what comes next. Hale's heart pounded. You want me to merge with it? Yes. And if I refuse? Miner 47's expression was sorrowful. Then the world mind will awaken alone. Hale swallowed hard. Meaning it will consume everything. The decision. Hale stared at the pulsing core, at the living walls, at the collective kneeling around him, at the planet awakening beneath his feet. He felt the symbionts inside him, waiting, listening, hoping. He closed his eyes. He saw the colony. He saw the miners. He saw the world mind dreaming of rebirth. He saw himself alone, terrified, stubborn, human. He exhaled. Fine, he whispered. I'll do it. Miner 47 smiled. But on one condition, Hale said. Miner 47 paused. Name it. Hale opened his eyes. You don't get to erase humanity. Miner 47 nodded. Agreed. You don't get to overwrite individuality. Agreed. You don't get to decide what we become. Miner 47 tilted his head. Then who does? Hale stepped toward the core. I do. The merge. The world mind reached for him. Light enveloped him. Heat surged through his veins. His symbionts ignited, millions of microscopic sparks firing in perfect harmony. Hale screamed, not in pain, in transformation. His mind expanded, fracturing, multiplying, merging, stabilizing. He felt the collective. He felt the colony. He felt the planet. He felt everything. And everything felt him. The world mind spoke. Who are you? Hale stood tall. I'm Hale. What are you? He smiled. I'm the bridge. What do you seek? Hale looked into the heart of the planet and chose balance. The world mind pulsed. Then guide us. Hale reached out, and the planet awakened. Epilogue, The New Dawn. Weeks later, Vesper 9 breathed. The atmosphere shimmered with new life. Filtered, purified, transformed. The colony thrived, not as a hive mind, but as a hybrid society. Individuals connected through a shared network of symbionts, unified yet distinct. Hale stood on a cliff overlooking the crystalline plains. Miner 47 approached. How do you feel? Hale smiled. Like myself. And the world mind? Hale closed his eyes. It whispered to him, curious, patient, alive. It's learning, he said. Miner 47 nodded. And us? Hale looked at the horizon. We're evolving. He breathed in the new air, and the planet breathed with him. This is the end of the sci-fi story, The Symbiosis Trials. Leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe for more sci-fi stories. Thanks for listening.